Now, just like last time that I did this a couple years ago, for my fall overseed, I used United Seeds Kentucky Bluegrass Blend. I went with Sod Grower 2 last time, and this time I'm going to be trying Sure Shot. This is a blend, a blue tag label of a whole bunch of elite varieties, including Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass. So this stuff should be super dark green and really good for making the lawn pop. So that's what's going to be going on the lawn. Now I'm going to be talking about my sprinkler setup. You guys saw me briefly mention this before, how I set up some of my sprinklers. I used some Hunter MP rotators. Now, I ordered all this from sprinklerwarehouse.com. They didn't provide anything for me. I paid for this with my own money, so I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but they have good customer support and a lot of good products for good prices. Ordered a couple extra MP3000 nozzles here that we can swap out, but basically what I did is I mapped out with the tape measure. I went all the way around my property. I just drew a line. Here's my house. My fence is right here. Here's my driveway, and here's the road up here and along here. Now what I'm going to be doing is the MP2000s I marked out every 20 feet because that's how far they spray. It's 13 feet to the road here. I just have to adjust them to spray how far I need them to. And I marked out how long of hoses I'm going to need. So I need 25-foot hoses between there. I need a 50-foot hose going to here. So I've got 3,000 MP3000s over here and a 3500 over here. And mostly MP2000s, and then I'm going to use my big Melnor sprinkler that's going to go right over here, the impact sprinkler. That's going to cover this larger area. I might set it up at the corner here and spray this way, because that seems to get better coverage than spraying from underneath this tree here, even though it is closer to the spigot, which is right here. My 4-way hose and timer is going right there, so I'm going to set up one zone here, 2 zones here, and the 3rd zone is just going to run the impact all by itself. So this is what I'm building. I've got some thread tape, and I ordered a whole bunch of these little 2-inch male-to-male risers. So this gets screwed into the base. So this is what the bottom of the sprinkler head looks like. Your nozzle can be swapped out by pulling up on this tab here, and then you can swap it out with a different one if you want. The green one is different radius. This goes up to, I believe, 270 degrees, 210 to 270, I want to say. Whereas the black one is 90 degree to 210 degrees. So this is just going to spray a little bit wider. And so what you do is I just tape this up, both ends, with thread tape. It threads into the bottom here, like so. And then you take a sprinkler spike, which I ordered these off Amazon because they were cheaper. I got a 5-pack for like 15 bucks. And then you thread your sprinkler in like this. And then your hose gets connected at this end. And if you want to link multiple ones, you just unscrew this here and it passes through. So you hook up your second hose to the opposite end here. And you can have a 25-foot hose section going to your next sprinkler. And this is what it looks like completed. You hook up your hose here, stick that in the ground, and you're good to go. So I'm going to get all that laid out, mapped out. Makes it easy for me. I know exactly where all my sprinklers are going. We're going to get that all set up today. And then hopefully get the seed down and covered with peat moss. Okay, now I'll show you how to actually assemble the Hunter Pro spray head. So this is the spray body. Hunter PRS 40 is the gray one. The PRS 40 denotes that it is a pressure regulated one. So this is regulated to 40 psi, which is recommended for the MP rotators for more consistency. The black ones, that's just a standard Pro spray, Hunter Pro spray. So you can see when you order them, you can either get them with the nozzles installed. In that case, you can pull this out, and the black one denotes that it is a MP2000. The green one, you can unscrew this and install this one, which is a MP2000, but this one does 210 to 270 degrees spray. This one does 90 degrees to 210. So you can easily swap that out. They're color coded, makes it nice and easy to identify. I'm going to install this PRS 41. So if you order without a nozzle, you just get this little gray tab on here that you can pull up on. Makes it real quick and easy so that way you don't lose it inside the spray body. We'll just unscrew that. And we're gonna stick our 3000 in there. And it goes on the threads. Just finger tight. And you're good to go. Now, I did use Teflon tape on one of my 2-inch risers here. And we're just gonna thread into the body. Like so. Then we're gonna take our spike and we're going to thread it onto the other end. And just tighten it up till it stops spinning. By hand, you don't want to over torque this in case you need to take them apart or whatever. But make sure they're taped so that way they don't leak. And when you connect your hoses, this has a rubber gasket in there. Make sure that those gaskets are in there, otherwise they'll leak. So if you want to connect a second one, your first hose goes into here. Your second hose goes on this end. So you can see it just screws into there. And then you can daisy chain them. Top dressing is definitely not worth the effort unless you have a compost spreader. Here's my sprinkler setup. Alright guys, so I had to improvise a little bit. I wasn't going to put that rotor sprinkler over there because my plan was to put the MP rotators all the way along the curve there. However, even after doing a bucket test and figuring out the math that it should work with about 6 or 7 of those heads, turns out it only runs 3 or 4 at a time. So I'm guessing my water pressure, water output changes from day to day and hour to hour throughout the time of day. So I had to remove a couple of these. So I've got a couple spares, and I put in one sprinkler all by itself on its own zone, and that's shooting about 30 or 40 feet right now just to cover that entire quadrant of the front lawn there. So I've got a couple extras there. So it just goes to show you that even if you do plan everything ahead, you do have to improvise a little bit and come up with a better solution. So, you know, I've got 3 sprinklers right now on a zone for this area, and it seems to be working pretty good. I'm running them for 15 minutes, 4 times a day, running at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. I think that's spaced out enough so that way everything gets a nice even watering without getting too saturated, but still keeping everything moist. Look at that, my other neighbor is mowing for the first time as well. Huh, got you beat by about 4 mows, buddy. And then I got this impact sprinkler which covers this entire area here, and it seems to work pretty good. These MP2000s have a very low flow rate, so I've actually got 5 of them on one zone, and that covers this back half. So that's my plan, to keep watering. Luckily we've had a lot of rain lately, so I haven't had to run the sprinklers too much, so I just turn this off whenever it's raining for the day. But here you can see it says I've got 4 minutes left on this zone right here. It's watering right now, and this will click off as soon as it's done. You guys saw me use this Melnor a couple years ago when I did my fall overseeding renovation, and I'm still using it now 2 years later, so this thing is held up very good. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to pick one of these up. It's the Melnor Aqua Timer, I believe it's called. So anyway guys, that's all I got for today. Just wanted to keep it short and simple. And if you like this video, please click subscribe. I really appreciate it for all of you that follow me, and leave a comment below if you got any questions. Until next time, thanks for watching.